Hey, so this is going to be a little guide or maybe some inspiration on the Raid Boss Revival. Now, I want to show you guys how to solo the Raid Boss Revival. You might already know, or maybe you're just curious about it, I don't know. We're going to be going with Omega because we're going to be running this one as Lucio. You can probably get a character that will solo any of these, so if you want the drops from one of the other ones. For me, I personally just want the tokens, so Omega is fine. Now, I want to explain why I'm using Lucio and why I'm using all of the things that I'm using. So, the reason I went with Lucio is because he's very free-to-play friendly. Anyone has the ability to unlock him and, you know, level him up, and they give you all the mats and everything to do it, so you don't have to worry about, like, using your resources that you would be using on other characters because you get all the Lucio resources needed through his missions. I've always done these Raid Boss Revival videos on showing how to solo the bosses, and I've always tried to use year 1 units like Skahal or Howlet or people like that. Now, in the last one I did use Howlet, and I remember somebody in the comments yelled at me and they were like, hey man, Howlet is not an easy unit to get or build, it's not free to play friendly, and it's not new player friendly, because we don't have the resources to build a year 1 unit. And I was like, huh, that actually kind of makes sense, I totally get it. Because you're using your resources on more modern units and everything like that. Now, chances are, if you have more modern units, they'll solo these things way easier. But if not, if you still want to follow these guides, then that's totally fine. And I get it. I get not wanting to pump resources into very old units. Just even though Howlet's great, like Howlet is great for a lot of things, PvE especially. But yeah, I can see people not wanting to do that. Anyways, the other rules that I have are no limited units allowed, so that means Trust Stone as well, or not Trust Stone, but Trust Mastery. I'm not going to be using any Trust Mastery from a limited or 100 cost units. So it's all just normal rate units, and in this case, free Lucio, and a normal launch unit for the TMR. Now, let's get into the equipment and stuff. The weapon I'm using is Lucio's sword from his mission. If you have Lucio this high, you have this sword because you get it along the way. Slash attack up. So you don't need slash attack up in your Trust Stone, and attack up 30%. So you don't need attack up in your Trust Stone either. Let me move my webcam over here for a minute. Now, so keep that in mind. You don't need either of those things in your Trust Stone. Another thing, here's the Thornlet. And this also has defense piercing rate up, so you don't need that in your Trust Stone either. So those are 3 things that you're not going to need to worry about on your Trust Stone. Now, the reason I went with Thornlet is because it does give AP, just in case. AP can become an issue sometimes. And it agility downs the boss for 3 turns on critical hit. You're probably going to crit every single hit, so that's going to be a great thing. Now, you want the boss to have agility down because you want to be able to lap this boss. You want to be able to attack twice in a row so you can chain with yourself. That's going to do way more damage, and it's going to save you from getting hit. If you're attacking twice in a row, that means the boss isn't attacking every other time, blah, blah, blah. You're just taking less damage, so it's all good. One other thing I wanted to show about the Thornlet is if you're confused on where to get the Thornlet, because I wanted, like I said, I'm only showing non-limited items. Thornlet is not limited. You can get this anytime you want. Just go into the events, then go into the Farplane Archive tab, and then click the Equipment tab, and it will be the random guild or the random battle quest. You'll have to scroll down the list. It's a little bit down the list, but it's there. And this is just where you farm Thornlet. Simple and easy. Alright, now, so I went with the bells because Ziz is a launch unit, and most people should have bells. You can get the shards from her daily in the guild shop. Monthly, you can get the character, which is even more shards. There's just a lot of ways to get the shards, and most people should have these bells by now. If not, you really should work on this and get these bells. Alright, and then I went with Odin, because Odin is a year 1 Esper, normal cost, not 90 cost like Dark Espers. Even though Odin is super good, he's probably on par with the Dark Espers. He's not actually a premium Esper, he's a normal cost Esper. So I hope most people would have Odin by now. Then for vision cards, these are probably the least important parts of the build. You could cycle these out with any kind of DPS increase vision cards. I'm just using the Rob card. You could use Ifrit here. You could probably use Ramza Scion card if you have it. You could use the pretty much anything, especially in this sub slot. This card is really not needed for this. You could put any DPS increase, whether it be attack up, slash attack up, light attack up, or whatever you want to wear. So the cards are not super important, but just wear whatever the best damaging cards you have. And yeah, so a couple more things before we get into the fight I wanted to show is, one, a lot of times people will watch these raid guides and be like, dude, I'm not doing even close to as much damage as you, this is not working. One thing to check is your bravery. Make sure you have 97 bravery. If your bravery is only like 50 or 70, you're going to be doing way less bravery. Bravery is super important when it comes to calculating physical damage. So there's that. And if you have 97 bravery and you're still not, another thing you can check is go to Affinity, Resonance. Make sure your Esper is 10 out of 10. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. I feel like a lot of new players maybe overlook this system because it's kind of buried. But you do have to level up your Espers on each character. And if this is only like level 3, if the Esper you're running is like 3 out of 10, or 1 out of 10, or 7 out of 10, you're going to be getting way less percent. If you're only 3 out of 10, you only get 30% of the Esper's stats. When it's 10 out of 10, you get 100% of the stats, so every bit of attack, it's really going to scuff up your agility. Your agility will be super scuffed if you don't have this thing at 10 out of 10. So make sure you're 10 out of 10 with the Esper that you are trying to run with for the maximum, beef. Alrighty, so let's get into the fight now, shall we? Alright, so Lucio's going to start out, he's going to use bells. If he's using another buff for you, then disable the other buff or make sure you have bells activated. And yeah, so he's just going to, first 2 attacks, he's going to use AoE so that he hits these ads and Omega himself. Now this boss can paralyze. So, one thing, I forgot to show my Trust Stones. I don't have Paralyze Resist on my Trust Stones, but I wish I did, because this boss can paralyze. I've only seen him do it one single time ever. He's only paralyzed me once. But I feel like if I had... look at that. Did you see how Lucio just attacked twice in a row? So he chained with himself, did max damage, and it's just really how it goes. But yeah, Paralyze Resist, and 2 other things that you need or don't need. I don't have any of these things on my Trust Stones, but I wish I did. Light Attack up 10. If I had Light Attack, then Lucio would be doing more damage. That would be super nice. And also slash attack resist pierce rate, because this boss does have 15% pierce resist, and it would just be super nice if you had those things. So paralyze resist, slash attack resist pierce rate, and light attack up. Those are some of the things you're going to want. Alright, this should end it. Boom. Auto attack. He didn't even use an ability. So it ends with 9 actions left. This is pretty much how every single fight goes. He even paralyzed me once. Like I said, I've only been paralyzed one single time, and I still won, even when I was paralyzed. So that is pretty cool. But yeah, quick recap. These are the items I have equipped. Trust Stones, the things you want to prioritize in your set is Paralyze Resist. HP up, because that guy does hit like a truck. Dark Resist, slash attack resist piercing rate, and then light attack up. A lot of the other stuff you don't need because we have defense penetration in the Thornlit, we have attack up and slash attack up in the sword, so you don't need any of that stuff. So paralyze resist. Also you could put crit damage up and critical hit rate up as well. Also you want damage cap. You want to break the damage. Anyways, I'm blabbing at this point. Hopefully this helped you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comments, or you could join the Discord and ask there. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So in the Discord will get you probably a faster answer, because I'll see that earlier, or if I'm asleep or something at the time, someone else will just answer you. Whereas if you leave it in the comments, I won't see it until a little while later, because those aren't necessarily in real time. Anyways, that's all I got. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully this inspired you to get this raid revival done. I'm personally just farming the tokens because I want to buy some recipes. And yeah, that's all I got. So I hope you enjoyed. Hope this helped, or at least inspired you. And yeah, have an amazing day. Good luck in your farms. See you later. Sayonara. Farewell. Goodbye.